Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins Linear Bounded Phenogram. I'm G, and we have managed to complete the Okabe, the Daru, and the Kurisu routes. So next up we have Suzuha. Oh, I for some reason thought that was Ruka. My bad. The Mr. Braun, or what the fuck is his name? Yugo Tanoji. That route. And the Ferris route. I'm gonna leave the Ferris route for last, because holy shit, that's gonna be murder on my throat. To Suzuha we go. Loving it. Also, I love Suzuha. Ghostly Rendezvous. I think I've seen pictures of this. Maybe. Like, you never know if the fan art is just like a spin-off of Smut, or if it's actually, you know, a spin-off of real art. It wasn't a dream. I'm still half asleep, but I know it wasn't a dream. Last night was fun, at least until partway through. I might not have been able to find Dad at the time machine offline meet, but Okabe Rintaro and the others called me one of their friends, one of their allies. But then the storm came and the rain was terrible. The evening was a blast, but I slipped out early. I had a bad feeling about things. Up on Radican's roof was my time machine, busted. All because of the choice I made. The time machine broke because I decided to make a stop in 2010 to look for my dad. I can't head further back into the past. I screwed up. I screwed up. I screwed up. That's all there is to it. I don't know how to fix the time machine. Only how to use it. That's why when I saw that on the way back, the shock was so intense that I assumed it was just a hallucination. I'm probably asleep and this is all a dream. Once I wake up, everything will vanish. That's what I thought. That's what I wanted. I'd never have to see that ever again. That's what I thought. That's what I wanted. And now it's the morning. I'm in the tent I put up in the lawn in the corner of Kitanamaru Park, where I always spend the night. I awaken from my slumber and peek my face out from the tent. Morning, breakfast is ready. It's time to wake up, Master. Rise and shine. Unfortunately, that's still here. By that, I'm referring to these other versions of me. I say versions because there are two of them. The one in the military uniform is the first other me. She seems uptight and serious. I'm pretty sure she's a real soldier. I can tell by the way she holds herself. The one in the maid outfit is the second other me. She seems super carefree. She's likely just an ordinary citizen. I can tell by the way she holds herself. Yesterday, on the way back from discovering that the time machine was broken, the two of them suddenly appeared near me. I have no clue why. Before I knew it, they were just there, and they're still here, if I'm not hallucinating anyhow. What's wrong? Feeling unwell? Oh boy, it is gonna be a time. You know my earring. Good morning, Susan. Yesterday was super fun. Let's talk again sometime. Also, I'd be really happy if you let me rub your belly again. Weird, but okay. Not exactly, but... I hope you're okay. You were pretty soaked yesterday. Maybe you caught a cold? I'm fine, I think. Thanks. It's a strange feeling to hear words of concern from someone with the exact same face as yourself. If you're still feeling drowsy, how about washing your face? It's okay, I'm awake. It's all working up in the old noggin. I just can't keep up with the situation. My sense of smell is working just fine too. A pleasant scent wafts its way to me. It's coming from the miso soup that the military me cooked up. Is this seriously all you made? Rice and soup is plenty. You've got to be kidding me, no way. It's all working up in the old noggin. I still can't follow their conversation. Suzuha, don't tell me you agree with her. The military me refers to me as Suzuha. I'm tempted to ask who she is if I'm Suzuha, but I hold my tongue. I think it's plenty fine. A feast, even. A feast? How? You two are nuts. You don't have to eat it if you don't like it. Why do you have to be like that? All I said was that it's not enough. I didn't say I wasn't gonna eat. You're pretty spoiled, aren't you? I've got no complaints. Mind if I dig in? Be my guest. Cheers. The military me skillfully scoops and serves me some miso soup. It looks hot. I take a sip. Ah, this is good. One sip is all I need to appreciate the flavor. It's nothing extravagant, but the dashi balance is perfect. Okabe Rintaro and the others once brought me to a gyudon place before. This might actually be better than the soup I had there. I'm glad you like it. I figured that my own taste would be fine, but I couldn't be sure until you tried it. We might have the same taste in food. Just because we look the same doesn't mean our tastes will line up perfectly. That sort of thing depends on what one grew up eating. Still, there doesn't seem to be much of a difference between the three of us. Well, I guess it tastes good. Despite her complaints, the maid me nods in agreement after taking a sip of the soup. Said the same girl who was just complaining. I'm not complaining now, am I? Considering this miso soup is totally real, it's probably safe to say that these two aren't just figments of my imagination. Granted, there's also the possibility that the miso soup isn't even real. But for now, let's just assume that these two really are here. In that case, I need to figure out just what the heck is going on. So what should I call you two? You wanna know my name? My name's Suzuha. Just call me Suzuha. Looks like the maid me doesn't quite understand what I'm getting at. I'm already assuming that all three of us are named Suzuha. I'm also Mane Suzuha. So are you, yeah? The military me glances over at me. So we're all Suzuha. This is going to make things real confusing real fast. That's a good point. Not at all. It's very axiomatic, actually. Axio what? It means something obvious or without needing to be said. Well, I didn't think it was obvious. I can tell. Do either of you have any good ideas about how to sort the situation out? I personally think you should be Suzuha. Me? How come? Because you're the original Mane Suzuha of this world line. Gotcha. Simple enough. Well, to be honest, it's unclear if I'm really the original Mane Suzuha of this world line. In fact, it's impossible to prove. My memories from yesterday are consistent, though, which means there's a decent chance that I'm who she says I am. Just to test that theory, I pulled the divergence meter out from inside the tent. 0.337337. It's 0.337337%. Is this the same value as yesterday? My gut tells me that it is, but I can't be sure. I was told not to carry this on me, so only Okabe Rintaro, creator of this handy little device, can perceive changes in the value anyway. And does that mean I'm not Suzuha? I totally am! I don't get it. The other versions of me carrying on the conversation as I glance down at the meter. Both of us are strangers here. But I'm still me, I'm Suzuha! Look, I don't doubt that you're a Mane Suzuha in some other world line. We're just talking about designations for each other while we're here. Designations? What's that? It's like a type of name. I don't really get it. Is it kind of like how in games monsters will call in help? Would that make a Suzuha 1, Suzuha 2, and Suzuha 3 then? What are you even talking about? I know you are, but what am I? Alright, settle down. Suzuha, I want to know the divergence value for this place. I lift the meter and show it to her. Wow, what is that? It's called a divergence meter. I guess the maid me has never seen this before. But the military me seems to be familiar with it. Effectively 0%. I wonder what it was for our world lines. We can't actually perceive changes in value. Were you never told that? Alright, let's just designate this place as World Line Alpha. In other words, you're the Mane Suzuha of World Line Alpha. The military me points at me. From now on, as a stopgap measure, I'm Beta, and we'll designate her as Gamma. What's a stopgap? It means quick and easy. So she's Alpha, you're Beta, and I'm Gamma? It feels like I'm last. That doesn't seem right. They're just code names. There's no meaning to the order. Which means I'm free to change it then, right? Sure. Then I'm Suzuha, just plain old Suzuha. Not happening. Why? Because her designation is a Mane Suzuha. I'm guessing she means me. I don't get why she gets to be Suzuha and I don't. It's going nowhere. I'm gonna have to suggest a compromise. In that case, I'll just go by Alpha. I'm Alpha, you're Beta, the maid is Suzuha. There, now we should all know who we're talking to. No, you have to be a Mane Suzuha. But I want to be Suzuha. I don't mind being Alpha. Sorry, but no. Looks like the military me isn't going to budge. So now we're just glaring at each other while we try to figure out a solution. If you don't like Gamma, how about I don't know which letter of the Greek alphabet that is. 1 second. Alright, that is a lowercase omega.
If you don't like gamma, how about omega? Omega? Alpha is the first letter, while gamma is the last. Omega. That sounds pretty cool, but I still prefer suzuha. Their argument continues like this for a while. Though to be honest, I couldn't care less at this point. We could probably just get by calling each other suzuha or you. But Beta is now fixated on calling the other one Omega, and she's fixated on being called suzuha. In the end, the military uniform me proves to be the more adult of the two. How about this? You're Alpha. Beta looks at me and says this. I'm Beta. Beta turns to the maid me. And you're suzuha. However, in my mind, I'll still be thinking of you as Omega. Is that okay? No objections here. I don't get what you mean, but sure. This long and ultimately pointless conversation finally comes to an end. Who knew figuring out names could be so stressful? Having a conversation with yourself is pretty exhausting. The two of them look exactly like me, but they're surprisingly different on the inside. I suppose just figuring out that alone made the morning worthwhile. Additionally, I've also discovered that nobody else can see these two. Thanks to that, I'm able to comfortably go to work with the two of them tagging along. Nothing quite like avoiding the boss man's rage. And it's also nice to have some company. Even though there are no customers, I don't have to sit around bored. What sort of store is this? Maid me, I also decided to call her Omega in my mind, is restless. Her constant wandering to and fro is starting to make me feel tired. Seems like it deals in selling older model televisions. On the other hand, the military me is standing at attention while surveying the lay of the land. Televisions? These are TVs? TVs of this time period sure are bulky. As far as I can tell, they're old even for this era. So why are they selling them? Probably nostalgic value. You know, retro stuff? Like that jersey Suzuha's wearing. What? I'm not wearing a jersey. I mean Suzuha Alpha. Oh, that's Suzuha. This really is confusing.
Oh, hello? Urishibara Ruka.
Thank you for yesterday. Hi, this is my first time messaging you. I'm Urishibara Ruka. We met yesterday. I was really happy to hear you compliment my cooking so much, my son. Thank you so much.
Well, that's fucking sweet.
Thanks for the message. The curry you made was so good. It's definitely in my personal top 3. Keep this a secret, but it's even better than my mom's cooking. Great tasting food is so common in this era that I'm going to end up losing control and getting fat from overeating. Tastiness might be humanity's true enemy.
Okay. What's with you, part-timer? Get it together.
Sorry, boss man.
Were you up there making a racket with Hokabe and the others yesterday, too?
Only for part of the night. After that, I ducked out and went to Radican only to discover that my time machine was broken.
You got some sleep, yeah?
There's a bigger problem than that.
Oh, bigger problem, eh? Sounds tough.
Hey, boss man, have you ever seen, like, multiple versions of yourself before?
The hell you going on about? Is this some new urban legend or something?
I doubt you'll believe me, but I can see them right now. I assumed he'd get mad at me for screwing around, but the boss man takes my statement surprisingly seriously.
2 other versions of you, eh? Sounds kinda like a ghosting effect.
Ghosting effect?
TVs these days are well made, so it doesn't happen all that much anymore. It happened a lot back in the day.
Huh? You're talking about TVs?
Who the hell do you think I am? Of course I'm talking about TVs.
Good point. I mutter as I look across the interior of the store, feeling I have a little choice but to agree. So what's a ghosting effect?
Consider this. An antenna is picking up signals coming straight for it, but all signals are bouncing off the mountains and buildings. Naturally, you get some time lag. Which means you get the original image, but also images on the left and the right. That's what the ghosting effect is, but I'm sure you youngsters have never seen it before.
Can't say I have.
Well, technically it ain't a matter of left or right. It's actually the front and rear. The image on the left is the front ghost, while the other one on the right is the rear.
Ghosting effect. But that way, my situation certainly sounds similar. Ultimately, what's happening to me in reality isn't going to be one-to-one with the TV-related phenomenon. I'm not going to sweat the details. Does that mean Beta and Omega are possible versions of me in different world lines? Like different versions of me are suddenly overlapping? Which which led to the front and rear ghosts appearing. If that's true, and I'm Alpha, Omega, and Beta might not be bad designations for the others. Omega, the maid me, is the front ghost. Beta, the military me, is the rear ghost. Despite how crazy this all is, giving them those names makes it an easier pill to swallow. It's past noon. Okabe Rintaro suddenly swings by.
And I have mail.
It's a little embarrassing to get complimented that much. I'm going to end up being really nervous next time I see you. Cooking is a hobby of mine, so seeing others enjoy the stuff I make just fills me with joy. I'll bring some for everyone at the Brown Tube Workshop next time.
Oh, Duke, I love you. Morning, part-time warrior.
Okabe Rintaro appears to be trying to act calm, but I can tell there's something off. Yo! I reply to him like usual.
Slacking off?
Not like there are any customers. But there are two other versions of me. Is this white lab coat guy Uncle Green? I'd assume so. I guess they both know him. But from what I can tell, Okabe Rintaro can't see either of them, so I act normally. Plus, after all that partying last night, I'm pretty dang sleepy.
Partying? Last night?
Okabe Rintaro's acting odd. Our conversation isn't lining up. Were you drinking last night, Okabe Rintaro? You should lay off the booze, you're still underage.
You didn't end up finding your father, so we held a last supper to celebrate you becoming a test subject, right?
Uh-huh, yep, that's right. You said something similar yesterday, too. I really appreciated that.
I don't remember much. How exactly did I get you there?
Wait, were you seriously drinking?
Just tell me.
I tried to head home from the time machine offline meet and...
Hold your horses. Time machine offline meet?
Yeah.
And that's where your father was supposed to show up, right?
That's why I told you yesterday. I know I told him that. I should have. There really is something weird about Okabe Rintaro today.
And then, what happened when you tried to leave?
You, Hachidai Taro, and Shinomayuri popped up. And that's when you guys dragged me off to the lab. The end. After that is when I slipped out midway through the party, but I leave that bit out. I had my reasons to leave. That's none of Okabe Rintaro's business. Yesterday was pretty fun. Well, it would have been even more fun if Mikey Seikurusu wasn't there. I'm pretty sure that apple pie of hers could be used as a murder weapon. But Ushibara Ruka's curry was sublime. That lab of yours is kind of like a club, yeah? I'm jealous. Everyone gets along really well, and it always seems like you guys are having a good time. That might have been the most comfortable I've felt in my entire life. I'm totally honest about how I feel. I could never even hope for that kind of environment in the era I was born. It's not like I didn't have friends, but they were more like comrades in the resistance. People to fight alongside, brothers and sisters in arms.
Part-time warrior. As promised, you will become a test subject.
Did I tell you? I don't even know my dad's email address.
Then we'll delay the experiment until you do. Oh, and for the record, the phone waveform for exchange is classified lab info. In order to prevent any possible leaking of information to outside organizations, you'll have to become a lab mem.
A lab mem?
Short for laboratory member. Those given said title become a part of my lab.
Are you sure it's okay for me to join your lab?
You're becoming one whether you want to or not. Starting today, you will henceforth be known as Lab Mem number 008.
Still crouched down, I look at the floor after hearing Okabe Rintaro's words. I'm so happy that I can barely move. I can feel my nose starting to get runny. I feel like crying. So before I look up, I quickly sniffle. I can tell I'm smiling. Fine, I guess I have no choice. I'll be your test subject.
Then you won't leave yet, right?
Nope, I'm gonna keep looking for my dad.
Starting today, you're a lab mem. We've got your back. Speaking of which, do you have any clues as to where your father might be?
I hesitate for a moment. I then stand up and look Okabe Rintaro in the eyes. My dad goes by the name of Teeter. I'm fully aware that this statement comes with the danger of Okabe Rintaro discovering my true identity. I said it because he called me one of them, a part of their group.
Wait, by Teeter, do you mean that Teeter?
I expected Okabe Rintaro's reaction. You know him? He might actually be using a different codename right now, but... Okabe Rintaro whips out his cell phone and shows it to me.
Look, there's someone here writing under the name John Teeter.
I stare at the screen. The mystery
has been solved. Your father is on Act Channel.
Oh huh, look at that. Unfortunately, this isn't the info I'm looking for. All it takes is a single glance at his screen to realize that. I recognize the text quite well.
Wait, why the lukewarm reaction?
Well, this isn't him.
How can you know that? You just said your father goes by Teeter.
I just know, okay? This Teeter isn't my dad. I can't tell Okabe Rintaro why, but I know this for a fact. Because the John Teeter on that channel is none other than me. There's no John. The name that my dad used is... I can't tell him, so I give Okabe Rintaro different information. Beryl Teeter. After pouring cold water over his excitement, he glumly returns to the second floor. You should have just told Uncle Ocarine what's up. Why do you and Omega both call Uncle Ocarine, Okabe Rintaro Uncle Ocarine? I'm not Omega, I'm Suzuha. Looks like Omega doesn't intend to budge an inch over that. Uncle Ocarine's Uncle Ocarine. Yep, he's just plain old Uncle Ocarine. Except he's Okabe Rintaro. I guess it is a result of growing up in different environments. In their world lines, it's entirely possible that Okabe Rintaro didn't die in 2025 and in fact lived on well past that. So is this a problem that can be fixed if we told him everything? I can't say for sure, but if nothing else, he thinks of you as an ally. Or am I misunderstanding something? You're not. But it's because we're allies that there's things I can't tell him. As John Teeter, I exchanged multiple messages with Okabe Rintaro. I've even talked with him on that channel. But I've always hidden from him the fact that I'm actually John Teeter. I couldn't even tell him just a few minutes ago. It's not good to intervene in the past too much. I could change the world line just by being here in 2010. But also, beyond that, I'm afraid that Okabe Rintaro and the others wouldn't look at me the same way if they ever did find out. I'm afraid that he'll see me differently. That's why I didn't tell Okabe Rintaro the truth. Maybe the most ironic part of it all is just that I didn't have to do anything for him to start seeing me differently.
There you are, part-time warrior.
What's up, Okabe Rintaro? I barely even recognized him when he showed up at work. He's like an entirely different person.
Is your hand okay?
My hand? What are you talking about? You drunk again? He was a little strange yesterday, but today is 1,000 times worse. I can't help but assume he's drunk or something.
I'm asking if your hand is okay.
I'm fine! I have no idea what he's talking about, but Okabe Rintaro is very clearly taking whatever it is very seriously. I decide to answer him properly, bring my hands up to my chest, and turn them front to back so we can see. Everything okay? You seem kind of down in the dumps. I ask out of concern, but it seems to go in one ear and out the other.
I see. I guess it's not time for you to get injured yet.
What's wrong? What do you mean?
Your time machine is broken.
Okabe Rintaro looks at me in the eyes for the first time. I meet his gaze with my own, but all I can see behind his eyes is a dull light, something I haven't seen since coming to this era. It's the same look my friends in the Resistance had. The deep sorrow of losing the people closest to you. The despair of losing them because of your own powerlessness. Losing one or two people wouldn't be enough to fall this far. It's the look of someone whose heart has been crushed over and over, yet each time they stood back up again, they lost more. It's the rage you feel toward yourself. I can hardly believe this is the same Okabe Rintaro as yesterday. He's nothing like the man who excitedly announced that my dad was John Teeter, then sulked off after discovering he was wrong. My time machine. Wait, mine? His words finally dispel my doubt. There's no way he'd say or know something like that after yesterday. Which means that the Okabe Rintaro before my eyes right now isn't the same as the one from yesterday.
That's right, your time machine.
Who knows how much time he must have spent between yesterday and today? I know that sounds like a contradiction, but that's how it is. He must have made it possible through some means or another. But what? There aren't many options. It has to be a time machine. Just like how Amane Suzuha is John Teeter from the future, he too must have become a time traveler. Using a machine separate from my own. When did you come from? But that doesn't explain everything. True, he's a different person inside. But appearance-wise, he looks the same as yesterday. I have no idea how much despair he went through to reach today, but considering how peaceful this era is, I doubt there's much that could grind his soul down to its very core over and over again. These kinds of wounds usually take years to form, even in my era. The fact that he hasn't aged at all, despite how much he's changed internally, strikes me as oddly paradoxical.
I'm grateful you caught on. And from August 13th, 2 days from now.
2 days? Now I know the reason why he hasn't aged at all. If he's only from 2 days in the future, of course he wouldn't have. but this makes how much he's changed inside even more bizarre.
We started work on improving the phone waveforms of the change and ended up succeeding in converting memories to data and sending them to the past. A grand achievement, a first for humanity. We then went on to name this new invention the Time Leap Machine.
Okabe Rintaro's story far exceeds anything I could have ever imagined. According to him, by using the Time Leap Machine, one is able to recall memories from 2 days in the future. It's not a physical leap through time. It's a way of awakening future memories. But regardless of how it works, it's undeniably a form of time travel. I'm a time traveler too. That by itself is no surprise. But what truly exceeds my imagination, and perhaps this isn't the right word to describe it, is why Okabe Rintaro returned to today of all days. Hinamayuri was killed?
That's right.
Okabe Rintaro chokes on the words, but manages to get them out.
He was killed. Murdered by them. CERN.
Okabe Rintaro then went on to explore many possible futures over and over again, searching for a future in which Hinamayuri could be saved. She died every single time without fail. Avoiding such a future proved to be impossible.
First, I thought she'd be safe by running from CERN. That wasn't enough. After that, I used the Time Leap Machine countless times, testing any and all possible actions I could take. However, night of the 13th, every time Mayuri died, the result never changed no matter what.
A world line convergence.
I already asked you about it. I know it's a future that never happened to you, to the you right now, but I've already heard it all.
I guess you'd have to, or you wouldn't be talking about how my time machine is broken.
Yeah. Are you not worried about that?
I already knew. I was pondering whether to discuss it with you or not yesterday. If anyone in this time period could fix it, it would be you guys. About that, Alpha. Okabe Rintaro's story was so shocking that I had totally forgotten about my other problem. The 2 different versions of me. What? I've undergone basic training on time machines. Naturally, that includes maintenance. I have a much higher chance of fixing it than the people in this era. What? Why didn't you tell me something that important sooner? I raised my voice in shock, prompting Okabe Rintaro to give me a puzzled look. I don't blame him. Nobody seeing me talk like this would have a clue what's going on.
What's wrong, part-time warrior? Who are you talking to?
Am I gonna have to explain this again? Right now, I can see 2 other versions of me. One just said that she can fix the time machine.
I know you're not the type to crack jokes at a time like this. To be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I figured. Just hang on. I'm gonna ask her for more details.
Sure.
Anyway, I turned to Beta. Can you really fix it? I'd have to see it to say anything for certain. Are you aware of the current situation? The VGL was unstable, so while it was supposed to materialize on the roof of Radicon, it slid a little off course and ended up embedded in the wall. Hence the damage in various places. Which would explain why it broke down in the rain. I see. Sounds like it's inferior to the one my dad made. Dad made mine too. It's just incomplete. Regardless, if it malfunctioned due to the rain, it shouldn't be that busted. At least I hope not. That said, if the VGL is toast, we're out of luck. That thing is like a black box. I have no idea how it works. Is there a difference between it being unstable and broken? If the instability was only enough to shift it from the roof to the inside of a wall in the same building, that's still within the range of error. But if it's actually broken, it'll be impossible to repair. You won't be able to go to the past or the future. Future? Yes. The future. What about it? Ada's words just keep surprising me. I guess the time machines in her world line are far superior to mine. Heck, they can even jump to the future. My time machine can only take a one-way trip to the past. Either way, I'll have to take a look at it first. Roger that. Okabe Rintaro, it sounds like my time machine can be fixed. I'm hopeful. However...
I see.
He doesn't look very happy. His expression serves as a reminder of how many times he must have looped back in time in order to reach now. I guess, well, it would have been nice if I got to meet my dad, but beggars can't be choosers. Your dad? What about him? No, it's nothing. I should hurry to the time machine. So, can you fix it? It's been about 10 minutes since Beta entered the time machine cockpit. I start to get impatient. It would appear to fundamentally be the same, but it's also quite a bit older than the ones I'm familiar with. Prototype, perhaps. In other words, it'll take about half a day to fix it. Ah, that's a relief. I fall to the floor, all the strength of my body having drained out. Beta comes over to me and extends her hand. You You okay? By the time I grasp Beta's hand, my strength is back and I quickly stand back up. I just felt super relieved. Wait, so I can hold Beta's hand? It just dawned on me, she really isn't a hallucination. If you wanted it repaired that badly, you should have just asked. I didn't ask? I didn't realize I'd have to actually say it. I guess Beta's time machine is just that different from mine. You said that you were shocked that it was broken, but you never said anything about fixing it. I didn't? Besides, I had no idea why you came to this time period, at least not until I heard you talking to Uncle Ocarine. Does that mean my situation is a lot different from yours? Correct, though I probably shouldn't go into detail. Why not? There are some things I don't want Uncle Ocarine to know. You must be talking about reading Steiner. Ocarine Taro has a special power. The unique ability to move between world lines, yet still retain his memories despite the past being changed. Most people knowing about other world lines has no meaning, and they end up forgetting all about it anyway. But Ocarine Taro is different. If there's something he shouldn't know about in Beta's world line, it's entirely likely that it's something he shouldn't know in this one too. It's not necessarily something unique to Beta's world line after all. That ability is part of it, yes, but Uncle Ocarine is also a person of importance in my world. Huh. So, can you fix it?
Oh wait, so, can you fix it?
Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Ocarine Taro walks over. Gina Mayuri is with him. He says it'll take about half a day.
I see. Suppose that's one problem solved.
Hopefully. This means that Dad's plan is right back on track. I'm a few days later than I had planned, but nothing I can't make up. Oh, the time machine's super big. Does it have a name?
Mayuri, do me a favor and keep the pointless questions to yourself for now. Suzuha, if you need help, feel free to ask Daru. I know how he looks, but he's quite skillful. Most of the future gadgets were built by him.
You probably shouldn't have mentioned that.
If you're looking for parts, you should also ask him. He knows where to find most things in Akiba. Actually, I told him to come here. He's probably slacking off because of the heat, damn it.
You know, sometimes I wonder, what exactly do you do at the Future Gadget Laboratory, Ocarine Taro?
I'm an idea man.
So you don't actually do that much work. Hey, you're forgetting something important, Ocarine.
And what might that be?
Where's Suzuha-san's dad right now? You know, my area brings up the one thing I was trying my best to forget. I feel the strength drain from my body again. My dad doesn't matter. Of course he matters! And you have half a day before the time machine is fixed, right? She was thinking about looking for your dad until then. What do you think?
Well, but...
Come on, Ocarine. Don't be like that. You need to keep your promises. And we all promised to go look for Suzuha-san's dad together. I promise. It's true. Ocarine Taro and the others said that during the disappointment party the other day, keeping me from leaving.
That's true.
I know you came here on a mission and all, but I also think it's because you wanted to meet your dad. If that's true, Mayushi wants to help you make that happen. You know, Mayuri, you're so sweet. And just like that, I'm on the verge of tears. You're 100% right. I thought I'd be able to meet him if I came here. I know my dad was in Akihabara in 2010.
Wait, really?
Yes, really. How rude. I bet he's still really young and handsome, too.
You said his name's Beryl Teeter, yeah?
Correct. Wow, is he a foreigner? Nope, he should be Japanese. Beryl Teeter is the codename he used in the Resistance. I doubt he's using that name in 2010. Unfortunately, I don't know his real name. Even though I'm supposed to be his daughter. I do my best to force a smile, all the while fighting back tears. I can't even imagine how I must look right now. He never told me, and he died before I could ask.
Is the name Amane an alias?
No, it's my mom's family name.
I suppose trying to track him down through her would be just as difficult.
And just then, the door swings open to reveal a familiar large man drenched in sweat.
Why isn't the elevator working? Having to climb 8 floors of stairs in this heat without air conditioning? You trying to kill me? Huh? Why does everyone look so gloomy? You're late, Daru! Of course I'm late. You called me over out of nowhere. You could at least show some gratitude.
I look at Mayuri and Hashidai Taro put on something of a comedy act. There's suddenly a shout of surprise that only I can hear. Wow, it's Dad! And he's so young! What? I can't believe what I just heard from Omega. Granted, I'm still suspicious as to whether Omega is actually a real person that can be heard to begin with, but let's ignore that for now. Dad? Did you just say Dad? Yep, That's my dad right there. Suzuha Omega says this and points directly at Hashida Itaru. I rubbed my eyes several times, but it really is Hashida Itaru. Seriously? What's wrong,
Oh, nope, wrong person. What's wrong, part-time warrior? Keep getting to you.
Son, you're scrunching up your face. You okay? Just give me a sec. I'm on the other end of the most shocking confession of my entire life, and I have no idea what to do with myself. Huh? My dad's right there, but maybe you have a different dad, Alpha. Hashida Itaru is my dad in my world line, too. And it must be the same here. I had spent so much time searching for Dad, but he was right here the whole time. Which explains why I didn't see him at the Time Machine offline meet.
What's wrong, Manishi?
No, it's nothing.
Okay, but your face is bright red.
I'm honestly glad that Hashida Itaru is so worried about me, but he's the reason I'm bright red. Mixed feelings.
Anyway, Ocarine, what do you need from me? Fix the time machine. That's obviously impossible, SMH. We can barely get the phone wave to work properly and you're asking me to fix a time machine? You're nuts!
The me from one of the other world lines knows all the technical details. All you have to do is help.
You from another world line?
Hashida Itaru doubts my words for a moment, but Beta's already started doing checks on the time machine. As a result, parts of it are opening and making noises seemingly by itself.
Whoa, is this a poltergeist?
The other me is just doing a few checks, no worries.
If Ghost Town here is fixing it, you don't need me. I'm heading home. It's way too hot. Hold it, Taru. What Ghost Town is?
I want you to help.
Why? You don't need me. I can't handle the heat. If it's just small stuff, you can help, Ocarine.
I mean, sure, but do you have any interest in the time machine?
Of course I do. I don't want to work in this heat. I'll drop by to watch when it gets cooler at night. Later.
Fine, sure, you're right. I do need you to go shopping. You're the only one who can buy the replacement parts for the broken components.
Can this wait until it gets cooler outside?
If you leave now, you're not coming back until later tonight. I have a gut feeling. We don't have time for that.
Suzuha, you know what parts you need?
He's checking right now. I call out to Beta inside the time machine. What's the deal? The lightning burned out circuits in 3 locations. What parts do you need? I'll jot them down, so give me something to write with. Beta takes the paper from me and quickly writes the parts down.
Whoa, awesome. Ghost Town, you're crazy fast.
I hand the note to Hashida Itaru. This is what we need. Think you can find them in this era?
No problemo. This will be a cinch. In fact, most of the joints I usually hit up should have this stuff. These parts, whoever built this thing has excellent taste.
I can't help but awkwardly laugh. If Hashida Itaru really is my dad, it's not even remotely surprising that he built this thing using his favorite parts. Alpha. Just as I'm thinking this, Beta calls out my name. As long as I have the parts, I can do the repairs on my own. You can spend time with the others if you want. I can't just force you to do all the work. This isn't the sort of task that requires multiple people. I guess, but still. Also, I'm saying this because Dad can't hear me, but this time machine only has the ability to travel into the past. I can't bring myself to respond. I'm sure Beta takes that as my reply. Which means you don't have much time left here. Knowing that, there's no way I can tell you to waste your remaining hours here working on this thing. Yeah. You'll be with your dad and the others. I wasn't planning on saying anything if she never caught on. Beta knows more about the time machine than anyone else here. Of course you'd figure it out. Also, if Suzuha is here, she'll get in the way of my work. Beta's trying her best to act cheerful. Although she ends up playfully jabbing Omega instead. What's that supposed to mean? Why me? Alpha's no different. Are we really the same? Yeah, I guess we are. Anyway, I decided to take Beta up on her offer.
And I think that is a pretty good place to cut it. This is bizarre. I'm really interested to see where this comes in, because I'm guessing that the nomers for them are actually in regards to the world lines that they're from, because Alpha's from the Alpha world line, Beta is from the Beta world line, hence the World War III vet. But is Omega from the Omega world line, or is she from the Delta world line Delta Attractor Field, where My Darling's Embrace happened? I'm not sure. Either way, I'm really excited to find out, because this is super cool. And I hope you are too. So, thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate, linear bounded Phenogram. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.